Morning everyone, and welcome to the classroom, the Death Weapons Meister Academy classroom to be more specific. Today we'll be talking about the magical friendships, power system, and story of one of the most underrated shonen series of all time, Soul Eater.
And I shall begin. Here we go! Excalibur, Excalibur, from the United King, I'm looking for heaven, I'm gone.
Soul Eater is simply one of the most incredibly unique shonen I have ever experienced in my life, and I absolutely adore it. I watch and read a lot of this stuff, even more if we're talking about American shonen, superhero media. So I feel comfortable saying that I probably know more about anime than anyone, except for Mr. Sunday Anime, I guess. Soul Eater began running in the monthly Shonen Gangan in 2004, published by Square Enix. An anime adaptation of Atsushi Okubo's breakout manga began in 2008, and while the manga ran up until 2013, the anime would end after only 51 episodes in 2009. I don't know if y'all know this, but we in the anime community typically call that a bad sign. Learn that one from Mr. Sunday himself. Soul Eater is an incredible series, a horror-tinged battle shonen with amazing art and characters I could read forever. Yeah, you heard me right. While I normally talk about cartoons or anime, which also means cartoons, Soul Eater is an exception. That will inevitably become a rule, because fuck, I love manga. I have had a principled stance against reading for many years, but I'm changing my tune.
4 years later, and Lea Michelle's officially putting to bed the rumor she can't read.
Just wild.
I've loved anime for long enough now, but like many who start down this river Styx of storytelling, it ends in one place. Manga Mart. It's the newest Fortnite drop. Anime that I have already loved, like Haikyuu, Attack on Titan, and even Fullmetal Alchemist, have called me to open their ancient tomes.
Well, I lied, sorry.
Personally, I find that many manga are more unique. They just have a bit more of what makes them, them. However, I don't know how to make a motion comic. I have ruined countless manga trying, so I'll still be using anime footage to talk about the series, at least until I figure out how to get Atsushi Okubo to illustrate these videos for me. And God, I wish he could, because Soul Eater has some of the most daring, experimental art I have ever seen in a shonen series. However, what makes Okubo's style truly work is how he uses it with his characters and story. So let's start with the title character, the Soul Eater.
I would define Munch as like just an eater.
Soul Eater Evans is a really interesting protagonist for a shonen series, especially for how uninteresting he is. I love Soul, but he works as an inversion to the typical action manga protagonist. While stereotypically loud and boisterous, constantly exclaiming their desire to be the Wizard King, the greatest hero, the Pirate King, for all to hear. However, Soul's ultimate goal as a student of DWMA to collect 100 souls and become a death scythe is treated with flippance by both Soul and Okubo. So what to do with all of the more obvious missing personal development that usually comes with the shonen dream? Well,
I'll be busting the moves and I'll be busting the rhymes. We'll be busting up laughing cause it's party time.
there's always a party in Soul Eater. Whether it be a house party at the son of Lord Death's estate, a music break in the middle of a deadly battle, or a school dance right before a night that would change our students' lives, adorable antics are the cursed demon tool that Okubo uses to get you to fall in love with these characters, even before we get to the insanely unique action of Soul Eater. While stopping bad guys and saving lives is a perfectly good way to get me to like a character, taking the time to have moments in a big comedic party, where while Soul sulks on the balcony, Maka, his Meister, partner, and best friend, brings him a plate of food without him even asking or her even saying. Maka is also an incredible character in her own right, maybe the closest I've ever seen a deuteragonist get to just being the protagonist. While Maka is just as ready to protect Sol, Sol is typically happy to keep Maka safe in his weapon form while she calls the shots. But if we're talking about a Meister who likes to call the shots, then I'm sorry I kept y'all waiting, chumps. Because the one and only Black Star has arrived.
Please, I'm a star!
Black Star is the fucking best. He's like if Damian Wayne was even more of an arrogant little shit. I'm sorry for swearing so much. Such language is not befitting of a DWMA classroom, but you've gotta understand. Black Star, real name by the way, is basically the protagonist of his own manga, inside of Soul Eater. He's the lone survivor of the infamous Star clan of assassins, he is a ninja, and he even has a fucking samurai arch nemesis. Taken in and raised at DWMA, he now fights to become the greatest warrior of all time, one who would surpass the gods. Tsubaki, his weapon, partner, and best friend, is a perfect opposite for Black Star, with an endlessly patient and caring heart combined with the actual arsenal of weaponry she has in her DNA. Meisters and weapons have to work in tandem in Soul Eater to overcome their opponents. While some weapons, like the living saw Giriko, are able to wield themselves without a Meister, they are all the worse off for it. Meisters and weapons must understand and accept each other to come to their full potential, or to even stand up in a single fight. Weapons are humans who are able to transform themselves into various combat forms, like a scythe, a spear, a combat knife, and that's before even getting to my favorites.
That's right, Peter. I'm you, and you're me, and this is a gun.
Liz and Patty Thompson, a twin pair of pistols, are so insanely cool. The loyal weapons to Death the Kid, the son of the Grim Reaper himself. The Thompson sisters help him blast witches, track down heretics, and deal with his absolutely crippling OCD.
I'm a horrible, disgusting person who doesn't deserve to live another day.
Kid may be my favorite character in all of Soul Eater, an absolute badass Reaper who also wants to wear a fancy cloak in a desert battle because, well, he likes the cloak. Many of the moments I cherish most in the entire series are far away from the heat of battle. While these characters do clash, as you'd expect any group of teenagers this crazy, stupid, and cool to do, they can't do it for long. If their souls clash in the heat of battle, it can spell the end for any one of them. The students of DWMA have to fight more fucking horrifying monsters than almost any other shonen students. Giant Golem are among the more friendly before we get to the witches, ancient monsters, and the insanely hot Gorgon sisters. Gorgon sisters, please. Gorgon sisters, if you can hear this, please save us. Gorgon sisters, please. And it's a good thing that the kids don't run the school themselves, which is actually a lot more common than you would think. About 60% of schools in the United States actually employ at least 10 12-year-olds to the faculty staff, but moving on. DWMA is headed up by the last one, the Grim Reaper. Like
death, straight up.
Old Grim here veers a lot closer to the Bill and Mandy end of things than the Seventh Seal. He also connects us to the more adult side of DWMA, while the cast of kids I've already covered, plus awesome additions like Oxford, Kiriko, and the endlessly tragic Krona, give us more of the big shonen action and dialogue. The adult cast can actually be even more interesting. When the series begins, we see them as the students do for the most part, usually as mysterious, badass instructors.
What on earth are you doing, Spirit?
Sending positive energy to Maka so she'll do well on the test.
Oh.
As time goes on, though, we see that in this world of horrors, they are just as terrified as their students. While the fan favorite of the instructors is clearly Stein, the surgical sex symbol, ones who may get less love like Sid Barrett and Miss Marie Mjolnir hold a special place in my soul. Miss Marie is a weapon with powerful electric capabilities and a caring heart that keeps those around her in check, especially those more prone to the pull of madness like Dr. Stein. She finds the life they live as weapons and meisters genuinely exhausting, as their endless parade of death of course is, always longing to retire and settle down with a nice man. Sid Barrett, on the other hand, is a straight up killer. And I love him so much. Sid is a zombie, an actual cold-blooded murderer, but on the night that DWMA destroyed the Star Clan, it was his idea to adopt the baby Black Star, thinking of him as his own. Soul Eater's amazing relationships pair with its power system perfectly, and that's a lot of P's. Piano. Soul Eater is incredibly brief with the backstory and inner world of its characters. We are often left to infer how they truly feel deep down, not least of all with Soul Evans. While Soul may be harsh with Maka as much as she is with him, and as much as any guy-girl best friends can attest to, you know how he feels about her, about all of his friends. Evans, in precious few moments, bears his soul not only to his Meister, but to all of his dearest classmates. Playing the piano for them in the heat of battle saves their souls from madness. He even has the G note especially picked out for Maka, describing it as both sweet and strong. Sweet and strong is the perfect way to describe these friendships. While some of them, like the ever-nervous demon weapon they be Krona, need to come out of their shell a bit, others like Tsubaki are always there to bear their genuine soul not just with their Meister, which they use to create the insanely cool, almost symbiotic Masamune style, but with all of their friends. A lot of anime and manga are about the power of friendship, but absolutely none of them put the power in those friendships like Soul Eater. I could go on listing special attacks all day, but I've got places to be, and just a few more uniquely Soul Eater things I want to touch on for this video. Atsushi Okubo has a love for horror that permeates throughout the entire run of Soul Eater. Early foes like Jack the Ripper and the Cat Witch Blair give us an awesome appetizer of what's to come, like insane monsters that pay homage to the founding fathers of American horror like Leatherface, Freddy Krueger, and my swampy, joysy baby boy Jason Voorhees. I also already mentioned that I am a manga fan of Soul Eater, but I have to mention it again because this is seriously some of the most impressive art I have seen in a shonen period. The way Okubo is willing to change the art style, the lighting, even sacrificing massive page spreads for wonderfully illustrated jokes is unlike anything I've ever seen from a battle manga. I would love to make more videos on manga in general. There may have actually been some teases for videos you'll be getting soon sprinkled throughout this one, but I would especially like to talk about more Soul Eater. There are characters who could get their own video, maybe even a god I love, but even talking about individual arcs, like the Big Bash or the assault on Baba Yaga Castle, would be incredibly fun. So please let me know in the comments if that sounds fun to you, or you'll get a Reaper Chop! Soul Eater is quickly becoming one of my favorite manga of all time. Now granted, I am a lover, not a fighter, so I say that kind of thing about a lot of stuff. But the way that Okubo uses his characters with his power system and his art is seriously stunning. But that is the video for this week, y'all. I'll see you next time. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Goodbye. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching that video. If you made it to this point, a special double thank you very much. I am so glad that I finally got to talk about Soul Eater. I fucking love this series. It is so good. Oh my goodness. I just love it. It is awesome. Let me think. I've got a couple things I've got to talk about, so I want to keep them straight. I've been posting a lot more TikToks lately. You can go check me out at a Casual Classroom on there. I might like put a little bit of one of them here. I've been doing 1 minute, 1 movie reviews. But what I have to show off for my collection this week is Soul Eater Volume 10. This one's got good old Spirit Albarn on it, Maka's dad. I just picked a kind of random volume. I just wanted to show you guys some like incredible art, for example. God, Soul Eater is so great. I can't really show you much more from this without definitely spoiling some stuff, and also got one hand to show it to you with. But yeah, Soul Eater's awesome. I really hope that I get some more of you to read it, or at the very least watch it. Maybe we can get a reboot going or something. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me. As always, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.